What is up, you guys? Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1 finally got here. Thanksgiving night, well, technically the day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday night. And we gotta talk about it. I understand I'm a little late to the game. I apologize. With all Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and my birthday's coming up, so we kind of celebrated a little early because it was the weekend. And you know what? It also gave me the opportunity. In my last video, my theories video recap of all Stranger Things, I said I never had any merch, and your boy got some merch for his birthday, and I really love this hoodie. It's really cool. Has all like the Scoops Ahoy, Hellfire, stuff like that. Got these cool little posters here, and of course the Demogorgon. So we're gonna talk about Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. So all spoilers for this season, or Volume 1 at least. If you don't want to get spoiled for that, make sure you go watch Volume 1 of Stranger Things on Netflix, and then come right back to this video. Okay, so I really want to talk about my negatives first with this volume, because honestly, I really had just a ball with this. I watched episode 1 and 2 on Wednesday nights, and then episode 3 and 4 on Thursday, Thanksgiving night, because obviously this released at 8 p.m. where I'm from, Eastern Standard Time. 8 p.m. I was not staying up till like 4 in the morning to watch this whole thing and binge it out. But I watched episode 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. And I gotta say, I feel like these episodes, negative that I have with them, or kind of I'm mixed with. The thing with Stranger Things is, obviously, with all the seasons, they've always released it, like, all at once so you can binge them. And I think that's really fun. It makes it like an event, like how we have now, and all online discourse. It's like an event. Stranger Things always feels like an event. Like, you have a party. Like, I know myself, I had, like, a Stranger Things cake, stuff like that, waffles and stuff, and we had some friends and family over watching Stranger Things. Makes it an event, right? Where I feel like if you watch this on a weekly basis, such as, like, Peacemaker Season 2, it would be, you can't really have an event, but like you have anticipation for every episode. And I feel like that has its pros and cons, and I honestly don't know really what would be better for this show. But like some of the mysteries within this season so far, like Mr. What's-It being Henry Creel and stuff. We don't really know who Mr. What's-It is for episode 1 and 2, but by episode 3, I believe, like, we figure out that Mr. What's-It is, of course, Vecna, Henry Creel, and that, I feel like, was kind of... I was very curious of that with episode 1 and 2, but then obviously seeing episode 3 right away, I was like, oh, okay, that question's already been answered. I don't know, I just feel like that would have been fun to figure out, like, 3 weeks from now, who's Mr. What's-It, who is Holly seeing? You know, stuff like that. One thing I don't really love about this season is the groups, the dynamics of the characters. There's not really a lot of fun chemistry with these characters as much within this season as there was maybe in season 3 or 4, like Dustin and Steve, for example. I think that they were always one of my favorite pairings from season 2, 3, and sometimes even, season 4. Amazing. I loved it. It made my heart very warm seeing them together. This season, obviously, Dustin's dealing with Eddie's death. And honestly, throughout episode 1, I was very disappointed in that. That made me very upset seeing Dustin all sad. But not thinking it over, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I would be too. Like, this is one of, like, a very big mentor for him. Everyone's saying and Hawkins is saying that, obviously, Eddie Munson is like this mass murderer and stuff like that. Obviously, that's a big deal, and that's going to affect Dustin because Dustin knows the truth and no one else does. So Dustin is obviously feeling a certain type of way, and I totally understand that. So I don't know, like, I'm kind of mixed on that, but I like how they kind of steer away from that. They don't make him that his whole personality. He's still Dustin underneath. But him and Steve obviously are feuding because Dustin's being kind of a little mean to Steve. But Steve is just being really mean back and just kind of a jerk. Like, this is honestly the most we've ever seen Steve as a jerk. One group dynamic that I will say that I actually really love is clearly the best character so far within this season, Will Byers, and we're going to get into that, obviously. But Will and Robin's relationship, I think that's really great because, obviously, Will is gay within the show. We figured that out, like, kind of early on, even in season 1, episode 1, they kind of revealed that. And Robin is, of course, a lesbian who is out there and striving with her relationship. And Will wants to be, like, gets advice from her. And I think that's a brilliant way of doing that. And kind of like this self-love way of, like, loving yourself, because Will obviously really likes Mike. And, you know, there's a big fan base for, like, Mike and Will together. I'm not really on that. I don't really think that that's Endgame. I think it's more of Will, and not Will, Mike and Eleven, of course. Another thing I don't really necessarily love within this season, I don't love the whole Max situation we got going on here. Because throughout episode 1 and 2 and halfway through 3, I was like, where's Max? Like, what's going on with Max? But when Max goes up to Holly and gives out her whole thing, and it's just an exposition dump. And I feel like it's an exposition dump of, like, the play. That's that first Shadow play on Broadway that I really want to go see. But obviously, that's like a prequel from the 1950s. We get that kind of within this segment of Max going through, like, this whole thing. I think that it was really kind of interesting, but also, like, just a lot. And just a lot of, like, in-your-face moments. And I don't necessarily love how Max is with Holly. I really want Max to be with Lucas. But we'll see if that happens in Volume 2. I think it will. It's got to. But I just wasn't really loving this whole like Max just lore drop on us. Pushing my negatives aside, going into my positives, we got to just talk about the main one here because I think Episode 4, the last like 20 minutes or so, oh my God. When Will just started going crazy, man, my hands went up like I was watching Avengers Endgame. I think Stranger Things is the best show of all time. Like, hands down, greatest show of all time. That moment in that episode, I lost it. I just was going crazy when Will just starts doing this thing with the Demogorgons, lifting his head up, seeing through the Demogorgon's eyes, because we obviously get, like, teases that, hey, he's just like Vecna. Even, like, says it. He's like, you are just like Vecna. You're not too far off. And he's seeing through the eyes of the Demogorgons. Now, the Demogorgons don't have eyes. So I'm a little confused on that because I don't see any eyeballs here. This is just pure mouth. So how do they see? What eyes is he seeing through? Because obviously he's got to be seeing through this. Because, right? Like, I don't know. That's just my guess. I don't know. Also, I just love how all the Demogorgons look within this season so far. Like, we get so much more of the Demogorgon. Like, the Demogorgon we barely saw in Season 1. He was a very mysterious character. We only got to see glimpses of him, especially in the finale. Now we got to see him just go crazy. We got to see multiple of them just go insane, and it's great. Like, I love seeing the Demogorgon on screen. I think he's one of the best, like, villains, like, designs of all time, hands down. And of course, that's all getting teased up that, hey, Will is like this, gonna be like this big character, and him talking to Joyce, saying like, hey, let me do my own thing, stuff like that. Joyce letting him do that. Great. Like, Will as a character, best character within the show so far for me, or at least this season, because I never really liked Will. We never really got to see him in Season 1. Season 2, we got to see him a lot, and he was awesome, but not really a standout character. It was like Steve and Dustin for me. Season 3. Again, not really a standout character, just there. Season 4, he was kind of a whiny baby, never really there. Oh, he's like the best character in Season 5 right now, like hands down. And Noah Schnapp, if that's how you pronounce his name, is I think the best actor within the groups of kids, like for me. Season 2, he was great. This season, he was great. Even last season, like Season 4, when like he's kind of crying and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of like, I can't really talk because I'm not in the LGBTQ community. I'm sure for those individuals in the LGBT community really felt an impact with that. And he like was very good in those scenes. Like it really made me kind of emotional with that. I really like Will as a character, especially now. And just him aura farming, going against all of them. And also the memes with like Will saying like, I love the memes saying with Will saying like to Mike like, oh, you like Supergirls, you like superpowers, well boom, let me do this. Fantastic. And also the bold cut just kind of disappearing, him getting the haircut. He looks kind of like muscular. Like, I don't know, like if it was just me. Like, Noah, like Will always seemed like this like scrawny little boy. Like, you know, like, I don't know, like just like kind of never really doing anything. Like even Joyce says it, like Hopper says it. He's like this weird little kid. No one really looks at him that way. But like honestly, like seeing this, like I was like, damn, this guy's like a man that's like, ooh, like I was like, wow. Like, and like him wiping the nose. Yo. When he did this, like, absolute Derek. And we got this trailer, we saw Derek. I always looked at Derek like, oh, he's going to be the new Dustin. He's going to be like this cool, maybe whiny kid that's kind of funny, breaking the ice. Never in a million years did I think I was going to hear him say this. Fuck my fat one! Never pictured in my mind at all. I absolutely really like Derek. Now, when he first got introduced in this season, I wasn't a fan of him. I was like, oh God, this guy's going to be annoying. He's going to be a little kid that's really just relentless and annoying. Then his parents start disappearing. Like his parents start passing out because obviously Erica, who's also great in this season, really funny, does the whole pie bit, absolutely hilarious. This season's very funny, but Derek's just hollering. He is laughing up a storm when his parents are passing out. I was like, this kid's kind of crazy. Give me more. Give me more. And we got so much more. Him saying such vulgar things from him. Like, I was like, wow, this is insane. I loved it. Him whacking those kids in the head, saying like, talking to Mr. What's-It, of course. He's like saying, oh, we're going to do some therapy. Bam! Pow! Hilarious. Hollering on the top of my lungs. Also, there's a lot of jokes in here that are about, special area on a body, a male's body. Crazy jokes in this season. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. Can't believe we're going there with Stranger Things. Crazy. But honestly, everyone's kind of saying that the jokes are kind of cringy and stuff. I think they're hilarious. I was laughing a lot. And one of the funniest jokes that actually made me kind of startled at first, but I really laughed a lot, was when obviously the girl's walking in and the pipes are bursting in the bathroom and Mike and Will on the floor, they look back and they're like, Mr. What's-It? We see the little boy just turn around and go, absolutely hysterical. One of the funniest jokes of the whole year for like any film or any like media. One of the funniest jokes I've ever seen. Will is an iconic person. I love Will. And seeing Will, 11, and of course Callie, because Callie comes back and it's revealed that Callie is working in the Upside Down for the government. Or something like that. I don't really know. The government captured her in the Upside Down. Is Vecna working with Callie? Is Vecna captured Callie? Did Vecna capture the government? Is Dr. K? Yada yada. All these questions are unanswered. All we know is Callie's in the Upside Down, and that's who they were using to track down 11. Stuff like that. And that means that Season 2, Episode 7 is now very important to Stranger Things. So yeah, make sure you watch Season 2, Episode 7. Because I know I skipped that episode when I rewatched it. And I know most people did. But I'm kind of hoping that we get 5 lines from her in Volume 2 and they just kill her right away. I don't know. But that's another thing that I also want to discuss here. I don't think anyone's dying now. I don't know. Because obviously we get in Episode 2 the big fight scene, which is a great episode, honestly, Episode 2. The Demogorgon just going after the Wheelers. And I love that. I was like, yes. Give me more of this. Because Karen Wheeler's hiding in the bathtub. She's obviously going against with the wine bottle. And it's just getting torn apart. At that point, I was like, they're doing it. They're going after the characters that we know and love. And then it's revealed that she's actually just in a surgery and Ted's in a coma. And I was like, oh, man, dang. So does that mean, like, we're not getting anyone that dies? Because if they killed off Karen and Ted, that would have meant that, oh, no one's safe. Everyone's going to die. We don't know who's going to live and die. But now it's like, oh, maybe just it's going to be everyone survives. Who knows? But I'm kind of hoping someone goes, and hopefully it's Kaylee or whatever her name is, Callie, whatever her name is. I don't care. Number 8. One character I was a little bit disappointed with is Hopper. I feel like Hopper isn't as great of a character in this season. I don't really know why. I don't really love the whole Hopper and Elle storyline within the Upside Down. I think it's kind of a little boring, and whenever they're on screen talking to each other, I don't really love it. I'll be honest here. I don't know, maybe that's just me. There are a lot of questions I have, though, with going into Volume 2. Like, what is this wall? Is the behind the wall, is that, like, just this massive, like, town memory thing that's, like, with the Mr. What's-It village? Because that whole thing was kind of weird. Didn't really understand what Mr. What's-It was. Like, it's kind of like, obviously, like Nightmare on Elm Street. But it's sort of like, I don't even know, like, The Matrix, in a way? Speaking of Mr. What's-It, Vecna, absolutely crazy design. I personally love this design. Seeing him as like Ultron, basically, like the first thing I saw when I saw this, I was like, oh, this looks like Ultron. And I love seeing everyone say that this looks like Ultron because it does. I love Vecna's original design, like all the slimy, but I love that he's like this Ultron mixed with Terminator 2, Groot type of thing. And him using like this arm as like almost like a super scroll from like Secret Invasion. And yo, when he like did that to that guy, like his face, oh my god, my whole family, like it was me, my grandma, my girlfriend, and my mom, everyone just like, ah, what? That was a crazy moment, and obviously I'm gonna assume that that's like the most graphic kill that they were talking about, the Duffers, because they were saying that there's something that's like crazy that we never done before. It's gotta be that, because that was crazy. But I really love the Vecna design. I'm hoping we get more of this design, and obviously my theory with the whole like Vecna taking over Will thing clearly was wrong, and I love that I was wrong because Will's whole arc in this is great, and probably one of the best arcs we've seen in fiction, for me personally. I think Will's going into like this superhero type of thing is just on the same level for me as Anakin Skywalker turning into Darth Vader. Because literally, that moment that Will did that was the same moment as Darth Vader in Rogue One. I don't know about you, but that was for what it was for me. That's really all I gotta say about Stranger Things. I'm really loving the show so far. I'm loving the whole aesthetic with like this whole lockdown Hawkins. I think it's very fun. I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. Hopefully it gets better, because I will say I feel like a lot of this is like season, especially episode like 3, like halfway through 3 and like a little bit of episode 2, a little bit of the beginning of episode 4. Kind of feels a little unnecessary, a little unneeded, but I'm loving it. Regardless, I think it's still going to be great. But I can't wait to talk more Stranger Things when Christmas time comes around and Marty Supreme Christmas Day. Can't wait. But with all that being said, I hope you liked today's video. If you like this video, make sure you like the video. If you like this video, make sure you like the video. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see future videos like this, make sure you ring the bell in the description down below. And check out my Stranger Things review for all the seasons and all the characters. But with all that being said, thanks so much for watching. Disney out. Peace.